We're all in the pursuit of something.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Pursuit. I know this all seems very formal and stuff, but this was the only place I could sit down since my girlfriend's in the kitchen making her food, and we have to talk because where to start? I fucked up my right shoulder, and if you watch back a couple of vlogs, 2 vlogs I believe, I'm doing a push session. I'm talking about it when I'm doing the overhead presses, like what happened a couple of times. This is the fourth time now that it's back, but it's the most severe one I've had. And so that calls for a little bit of change of strategy, change of plans possibly, because happened 2 weeks ago on a Friday. Well, this is an injury that accumulates over time, but last week on a Friday was like the drop that made the bucket overload, if that's the right way to say it. Anyway, ever since that Friday, the pain's been bad. I couldn't move my arm the first couple of days, like no way, in no direction. I could not move my arm. Right now, it's a little bit better. I can I can move it a little bit. Still quite some pain. We're 2 weeks further now, and since this week, I've been able to train a little bit of upper body again, but with very light loads and very specific exercises only. Today we're gonna go and do one of these sessions. So the way I've been training for the first week it happened, I literally was out of the gym for a week. Tried training legs, couldn't get my head to get into it. I was really depressed that first couple of days after it happened, simply because frustration's one of them, since it's an injury that's came back for the fourth time now, which I'll come back to in a bit. Frustration, and then also the things like, we were planning to possibly do my pro debut the end of this year, 2024. Right now, is that really going to happen? Small chance. So that's one of the things. And simply training, I fucking love training. Training is my true north, so they say. So if I lose training, I lose all sense of like direction, and it's just my anchor kind of is cut loose, and I'm lost. And that's how I felt. Like, it only takes, I can take 3 days of rest knowing I can get back to the gym, but if I know that I cannot, because that's what I thought, at least, my shoulder, then that's where it really goes sideways for me. So that was the first week. Then I got myself back together and realized, like, hey, the right shoulder is only one part of the body. I still have, a lot of other parts of my body that can be trained and should also be trained, because, if I'm gonna just take complete rest simply because one of my shoulders isn't functioning properly or is in pain, if I'm going to take complete rest, that's going to lead into deconditioning. That's going to lead in, just everything going downhill, basically, which doesn't have to be if I'm just keeping up with things that I can. So I started to look like what's within my control. I can do my cardio, I can do my steps, I can train my legs, and I can train the left side of my upper body. Now, there's a thing that's called mirror neurons, which is basically when one part of the body performs a movement, the other part still gets that neural input, which will help with retaining strength on this side and even retaining muscle on that side. It's not going to grow any muscle probably, not at this point where I'm at, but it can help with further degradation of things. So I started to map out a plan for myself. Okay, what can I do, and how can I make my sessions kind of still feel like I'm doing something? Because if I'm only training my upper body, left arm and side, I'm probably not gonna really get any satisfaction from that training session. So I was thinking, like, okay, I'm gonna couple every session with some lower body. So I'm gonna split my body into front and back, and I'm gonna do full push and full pull. So today we're doing full push. So that's going to be 3 movements for quads and then 2 movements for chest, which now I can do for also my right side, but very lightweight. However, that's the way you got to deal with it when it's a tendon issue. Just realized I didn't even tell you guys what the issue is. So, sum it up real quick. I have 2 inflamed tendons for sure. That has been diagnosed for sure, which is my the long head of my bicep, which is a tendon that runs over the humeral head like that, the top of the shoulder, and inserts into the labrum, which attaches to the scapula. And then also my supraspinatus tendon, which is one of the rotator cuff muscles. So both of those are inflamed. Bicep tendon I'll feel when I lift my arm up straight. Rotator cuff tendon I'll feel when I lift my arm up sideways, usually. So that's basically total shoulder fuckery, because can't move them. Yeah, I can move it backwards. That's one thing I can. So that's what happened. And now they're trying to establish if there is any deeper issue as well. They are suspecting a tear in my ligament, which is not certain yet. And I honestly hope it is not, because the ligament is bone-to-bone tissue and is poorly fed with blood. That's the right way to say it. So recovery there takes really long. And I'm gonna go to see a specialist about that, I hope, next week. Gotta go to the GP first, and they have to kind of, you know, how that story goes. But I did an MRI this past week, where they suspected that's what they saw, but they couldn't say it for sure. So they're gonna need to do some further tests. But in order to do so, I first have to go to the GP again, get a letter of recommendation, and then go to see the specialist. Right? So that's still, I don't know yet how that'll play out. But I know for sure those tendons are inflamed. Now with tendons, you don't want to not train. You want to train, but you want to train in a way where you are stimulating blood flow to the area, which is going to help with recovery. But you don't want to train to the extent where you are further irritating that tendon, right? So a couple of things are going to play a role there, which one of them is going to be training volume. The other one is going to be training intensity, so the loads you pick. And the other one, the third one, is going to be range of motion. So I'm going to have to, and kind of like exercise setup positioning, I'll call that, in like group that together with range of motion. So I figured out which exercises I can do sort of pain-free. It's not completely pain-free, but acceptable levels of pain. And then I'm going to have to do those really light and really slow. Rep tempos are going to play a huge role there as well. So that's what I'm doing for push now today. You'll see what we're going to do. And that way I couple lower body with upper body, so the front side of my body, and then tomorrow I'll do the full posterior, so I'll do hamstrings, glutes, and some back, and that way I can still get some sort of satisfaction from my training, because I can still go heavy on lower body and get that sort of like exhaustion feeling going on, and then perform some movements for the upper body just to get some stimulation, some blood flow, helps with recovery. But it's very much a by the day thing at the moment, because I might wake up and just feels totally fucked. Like today, it kind of feels a bit iffy, but I'm gonna try to do the upper movements and just see how it goes. If it doesn't feel right, I'm not doing it today, and that's the baby steps I gotta take right now in order to get back to training my upper body, you know, in full swing, at full strength, with all the exercises that I should or can do. Right? So, kind of fucked. Like I said, it's probably going to have an effect on the planning for my pro debut, but you know, you only get one chance to do that, and I want to do it right. And this is, you know, an injury can happen to everyone. I just have to kind of deal with it now, mentally, physically, get through it, get over it. I know what needs to be done in order to keep it from coming back. But here's the thing. Right, when you are a bodybuilder, and you want to progress, and you have that like burning sensation inside you to move on, move forward, on to the next goal, you know, you push limits, sometimes against your own better judgment, because, you know, like I said, this is the 4th time you came back. You would expect that I've learned a thing or two from it by now, which I did. There are some improvements to the way I'm handling this, But if I just go back to that moment where it happened that day, I went into that session already feeling fatigued, already feeling like, and then I wouldn't back down, which is something that I should have done for that session. Either just don't do that session, take a day off and come back the next day, or just, notch down on the weights that I used, or the volume, but I did not. I was too damn stubborn to do that, and that's what got me here. And that's not just in that session, that's probably like accumulating over the weeks, ignoring your body's signs and signals, and just too tunnel visioned to where you want to go. And that's what happens. That's when a tendon gets inflamed. Too much, too soon, not enough recovery. So the road back, I don't know how long it's going to take. Like I said, I had it a couple of times. Sometimes it improved fast, sometimes not. Right now, it's already been there for 2 weeks. It's improved a little bit compared to when it just came on, but it's still pretty bad. So, like I said, I don't know how long it's going to take, but what I do know is I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that recovery process runs as smoothly as possible, and it actually recovers to where I can get back to my full capacity. Once I'm back at my full capacity, we'll start my off season. So right now it just doesn't make sense to do so. Right now it's just we're kind of maintaining things here and making sure I get back to my full capacity within that meantime, and then take things from there. So with that said, try to keep it short. There's more to it. Maybe I'll come back to it later today or whatever. Anyway, we got a training set up. It's Saturday, so it's probably going to be busy in the gym. I'm going to try to, get everything on camera. Full push. Let's see how it goes today. I'm gonna train together with Dio, which Dio's been an athlete of mine for a long time, and he's also a coach at EP. Just training together. I don't know if he's gonna join my session though, because my session is kind of, alternative, I'd say. So we'll see. But that's coming up right now. I'll show you what I do in terms of supplements and other things to help recovery as well. But right now we gotta get ready for this session. So see y'all in a bit. Okay, we're in the gym and we're gonna warm up, do a priming exercise to stimulate everything on the back, which is gonna help with shoulder stability. It's called the Andrew Lock Big 3, and it's pretty hard, and I'm going to do it without weight even. The goal is to eventually build up and do it with some lightweight dumbbells, like 1 kilo per hand or 2 kilos per hand, but I'm going to do it without weight now first. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so you're going to lie prone on the floor like a seal, and keep your hands by your side with your palms facing up, and then press them up, 20 reps. Then you're gonna switch and face the palms down and lift them up. Now you're gonna bring your arm out to the side. And then you're gonna bring your arms out in front. Alright, and I'm gonna do some isometrics. Basically push my arm down into the floor. I try to stabilize my shoulder whilst I'm doing it. Yes. 10-second hold. Place it forward a bit more. What this does is, as you go through more shoulder flexion, so basically bringing your arm up, you build up strength in those positions and stability. That's as far as I can go for now. Okay, next up now, we got some walking lunges. We're gonna do a couple of warming up sets and then 2 real working sets here with dumbbells. Yeah, walking lunges. This is pretty much all I can do. We're gonna do a warming up set with 20 kg dumbbells now. Get the knees nice and warm before we load them up. Okay, gonna go for the first working set. Have to be careful with picking up the dumbbells. I'm not gonna use straps because I do wanna sort of train my grip with these walking lunges now. This is not really max hypertrophy training. So I do wanna use this as a moment to strengthen my grip as well. Fuck. Whew. That went all right. I'm gonna go 1 notch up, 40 dumbbells. I think this is the first time that I do weighted walking lunges as my first exercise. You see me do like body weight walking lunges warming up, but never really did walking lunges as my first like actual exercise. We got like machine squats here after, either hack or pendulum, depending on which one is free. So it'll be interesting how that feels. Fuck. This is where it happened, by the way, where I fucked up my shoulder. Incline bench press. Okay. On to some hacks. 2 working sets as well. I'm doing less working sets for every leg exercise now because I'm training legs more often in the week. Now with this adjusted split. So therefore, just 2. Feeling like generally fatigued a little bit today. Honestly now, it's really like day by day. Some days feels better, some days not. Today is one of those days where it doesn't feel much better. It's mentally hard because you feel like you're making progress and then you're right back feeling like I gotta start all over again. So it takes a lot of mental energy, I can tell you that, which is why I feel fatigued, honestly, because physically I'm probably not. It's more so mental. But quitting is not an option. Just kind of building my way up here to what I feel like is possible for today. Kind of taking it set by set now. Still warming up here. We'll search for more plates. Okay, we're gonna feel if we're gonna do this or 6 plates. Just kind of deciding it after this 1-2 reps. Six plates it is. Maybe six or 7 reps. Let's see if we can make this look cool or if it's just gonna look fucking horrible. Because I feel fucking horrible. Whew. So I gotta mention the positive here. I was able to hold the machine like this. 1 week ago I was not. So those are the kind of like wins I have to take right now. Okay. I had to dig deep for that one, but we made it. Now on to the next. Okay, single leg extensions now. Finish up the quads for today. Trying to focus on getting the quad fully shortened here. Gotta be careful not to also fuck up my knee now. Oh, fucking hell, mate. That burns. Okay, that's quads done. I'm gonna try and do some chest, see how that goes. Okay. What we got here is the standing Jim Leco chest press. And the good thing about this machine, I really like this one for two reasons. One, I can use a neutral grip, which is really beneficial with my shoulder now. Because anytime you're using a neutral grip, you're not really stressing that AC joint. Neutral grip. And secondly, this one has kind of the same resistance profile, kind of, as a bench press versus a normal machine, because this one, the load is heaviest in the lengthened position and it drops off as you get closer to the shortened position. Where with most machines, as they converge, the weight becomes heavier. A bench press is heaviest in the bottom. But what's different to a bench press here is that it's more safe, especially with injury. So I found that I could do this machine as long as I use the neutral grip here. We're going to use a very slow rep tempo in the eccentric. We're going to use a paused lengthened range. So we're going to pause in the lengthened range and just control the whole movement, really focus on burn and driving blood into the tissue. Because we can't really load it heavy, so that's what we got to use to create some sort of a stimulus. That burns. I'm gonna do 3 sets here. Just kind of use volume more as a tool to accumulate enough fatigue to at least hold on to that tissue there. Okay, that set felt good, so I'm gonna try to go a little heavier here. I'm still going by the level of pain I'm feeling. If I feel it, I stop, I take off the load, and I stick with 30. 30 is already an improvement from what I did last session, so. Oh, that's me being smart. I could do more reps here, but I felt like I was edging closer to kind of losing a bit of form or stability in that shoulder. And with this last rep, I was still able to hold my shoulder in place. Because as soon as that shoulder starts to like come out a little bit, it's done. So kept it there, 8 reps, I'll take it for today. I'll do another set though. No pain just yet, but I don't want to risk it. So I'm gonna take some weight off. Oh, we'll call it a drop set. Oh, fuck. All right. I had to do a little reset there of my form, and then everything was okay again. That was scary, but good set eventually. Now we're gonna do this one here, decline machine. Okay, so this is gonna be the decline press. A little bit safer movement for me as I... fuck. As I say that, I fuck up my pinky. I don't know, I guess it's meant to be. Because this press is kind of downwards. Keeping a neutral grip here as well. Feels okay. I'm gonna try to go a little bit heavier for my coming working sets. Nothing too crazy today. Okay, working set number 1. Same thing, slow reps. Working for burn here. Sticking with the same weight is not only the load that you have to like build up again, the range of motion you have to build up again, eventually exercise selection as well, but also volume, total volume. And obviously load is a part of that equation, so I've done a little bit more on this press now, which is why I'm kind of on the balance now of doing too much, and I have to be careful. I can feel it. Another thing with tendons, and that's the messed up thing, now it's warm, I'm gonna feel less pain now. But as I get home and the blood goes away, cools off, that's when I really know if I did too much today or not, because then it'll start to hurt. So we'll find out later today. Stay tuned. All right, last set here. Let's pray it goes well. I have somewhat of a pump in my chest. It's amazing. It's on the verge. Gonna do some, finish up with some triceps now. And that's gonna be it for today. Okay, I'm gonna try to do some cross cable tricep extensions. Oh, that went okay. I'll do 2 more sets. I really focus on keeping my back contracted here. Staying in that upright position just like that. And then it goes okay. Okay, last set here. If it feels okay, I'm gonna try to do some kind of like Y raises. I'll decide after this set. Okay, we'll try it. We'll try it. Okay, so I got the biggest bad boys of the gym right here. 2 kg dumbbells. And I'm even gonna do it without weight first. So what we're gonna do is lift out to the side like that.
Bro, je pakt 5 keer over, je hebt 2 keer gedaan, schiet ook. Hij armen recht, ja man.
Oh, that's a headache. Feels alright. Going up to intermediate weight now, 4 kilos. Some serious stuff. Honestly, it'll be a win if this goes pain-free today. So let's see.
Nee, it's okay, it's okay. I'm ready whenever you are.
Anders kunnen we niet 10 doen. Doe je 10. Laatste. 10, 10, 10.
Okay. Took a little getting used to, but it worked. So the benefit of doing the side raises, because this will target the lateral head of the deltoid. The benefit of doing it like this is where you're going out in sort of a 30 degrees, it's called the scapular plane, side raise. That's less stress on the AC joint for one. And because of the angle we're using here, the mid traps and rhomboids, lower traps, have to work to stabilize the shoulder joint, which is usually the weak spot, which is also where my issue comes from, especially in that like overhead position. Getting more stable there and gaining more strength there through those muscles is gonna, in the long term, that's gonna help staying injury free. And right now, this is pretty much the only side raise variation I can do pain free, so that works well. Oh, I gotta really watch out. One wrong movement, then it's fucked. All right, so that kind of was the session for me. Right now, I'm gonna head home, eat the post-workout meal, and I'm gonna fill you in on things I'm doing, supplement-wise, etc., to help recover from this injury. As you can see, the things I was able to do is pretty limited, but I'm doing what I can to still move forward and keep myself from basically regressing. Yeah. Oh, it's not looking pretty at the moment. Didn't have time to shape myself either. Or it's kind of hard as well with the shoulder. That's a bad excuse actually. Yeah, as you can see, not a lot. It's not a lot, but it is something. And this is already more than I was able to do last week. Like I said, it's gonna be a case of how does it feel later today, and how does it feel tomorrow, and is there a improvement? Does it go backwards? Based on that, I gotta adjust my training and try to find a way to keep moving forward. But I'll keep you guys updated. Yeah, that's the way it is right now. See you at home. Okay, we're back from that. Let me see if I can give you guys some more light. There we go. Back from the training session. I can't say like, wow, that was a good training session for me, obviously, but because of the leg portion, I do feel physically worked. And so at least there's that. Was able to do a little bit more, not in terms of movement, but in terms of intensity with the movements. So there are steps forward here, like that's, it's really like baby steps you gotta look at here, and take the small wins, because big steps, it's just not gonna happen at this moment. It's just gonna be gradually working my way back up to being able to load that tendon and being able to bring that tendon into the positions it is able to get in, like everything here, which I can do with my left shoulder. Now the funny thing is, if you follow this YouTube channel for long enough, you'll know that I actually had this problem in my left shoulder as well. In my prep in 2021, at around, I would say 12 weeks out, 10, 12 weeks out ish, which I then recovered from and it never came back. I'm knocking on wood. Yes, this is wood. So it was already said to me back then, like, in one way, it's kind of fortunate that this happens to you, because that tendon will repair and get stronger. It's just that this one hasn't gotten stronger yet ever since it first happened, but that's also because I haven't given this one the opportunity to properly heal, because the first time it happened was in my off season 2022, and then I was in the midst of my off season, so I didn't want to kind of like pull down on pushing, which I should have done. Eventually I got in control of the pain, but I didn't really, like, once the symptoms were away, I just went straight back to what I was able to do before that. And that is where I went wrong, because the tendon isn't just accustomed to that load just yet. So that's why I kept coming back, and now I just got to go through that properly, because the times that it came back was always in an unfortunate timing where I was in prep, and now I'm not, so I actually have the opportunity to get rid of it. Right now I'm making my post-workout shake. That's 60 grams of highly branched cyclodextrin and 2 scoops of Trained by JP isolate. I'm using the chocolate mocha flavor, pretty accurate with the flavoring. I switched to isolate just for digestion purposes. This one is also available at Alpha Subs. And this is a blend of whey isolate and hydro isolate. And I believe there's a little bit of whey concentrate in there as well, but it's just 20% of the total formula. So yeah, gotta shake this up and drink it. Keep shaking. So I did 60 grams of cyclodextrin intro workout and 60 grams post. Boom. All right. So where was I with the story? Yeah, so I'm gonna actually give it time to properly heal now, and hopefully it won't come back then, because it's pretty damn frustrating at this point. And yeah, as you could have seen with my training, I really have to adjust my training, and that's not going to be like right now. I don't think I'm going to be able to provide a growth stimulus for my upper body, but all I'm hoping to do right now is just to provide a maintenance stimulant so the muscle doesn't go anywhere. And whilst I'm doing that, I can still focus on growing my legs, because you know, legs can never be big enough. So at least there's that whilst I'm recovering from this. We were planning to do my push, start my off-season push next week. Now we gotta postpone it. It is what it is. And that's easy to say. It is what it is. But it's the truth. Because what else am I gonna do except for do my best in terms of recovery, give my body the time it needs to recover, the resources it needs to recover, right? And talking about resources, some supplemental things that I'm using to help here, 2 things actually. We have Join In from Trained by JP. This has some glucosamine in there, and some hyaluronic acid and some collagen. Those are the main components here, and some anti-inflammatories as well. And then on top of that, I use some extra collagen, because that's what the fibers of a tendon are made of, mostly. And then I have some peptides as well that I'm using. I'm using TB500. I'm using BPC157. I'm using GHKCU, and I'm using GH. So those are all the peptides that should help with recovery. And hopefully, you know, with me giving my body a chance in terms of training to recover, using the peptides, using the supplements, doing my corrective exercises, rehab exercises, that is literally all that's within my power. And that is what I mean with it is what it is. Gotta take it by the day and see where it moves from there, and try to, you know, make baby steps forward in terms of progression with load, range of motion, exercise selection, and just try to, you know, get better from there. That's all we can do. And then once we are back at that level where I was before I injured myself, that's when we'll actually start my next push. Because, you know, it doesn't make sense to start it before I am able to do what I was already able to do, because that ground's already been covered. We want to retake that ground and then push on to new grounds when we start with the push. So there's that. What I'm going to do now is finish up my meal. So 2 more rice cakes with some honey for this meal. Prep my next meals and get some work done, get some steps done, and I'll check in with you guys later today to let you know if the workout, the training that we did today, has aggravated this more or not, because obviously that's still the question. Right now there's still blood there, still moving fine, so we'll see in a bit. Right, and welcome back. It's time for me to eat a mandarin. This one is actually not on my meal plan, so technically I'm cheating. Technically this is a cheat meal. I'm eating a cheat meal. Just did some steps as well, so I think we're good on the insulin sensitivity front. And still got some work to do. It's currently, what's the time? 6:39 in the evening. And gonna do some work, some new setups for some athletes, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Take shower and do nothing anymore. On the side of my deltoid, or I should say my biceps tendon and my supraspinatus tendon, I don't feel more sore than I did this morning. So I'm calling it a win today, because I did a little bit more in terms of load on the standing chest press. I think I matched my load, or I did a little bit more on the decline chest press. Matched load on the cross cable tricep extensions, and did a little bit more on the side raises. So yeah, like it's still, I mean, you've seen it, it's not a lot, but it's something. So I'm calling it a win today. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Don't juice me, or maybe juice me. It's not a nice mandarin. All that work, calling it a day, and tomorrow I got pool. Hopefully I'll see how I feel in the morning. But yeah, that's the situation right now. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And then I'll keep, taking you guys through this process. So see you for the next one. Peace.
I chose bodybuilding as my journey, and I'm loving every second of it. Welcome to the pursuit.